I'm thinking of renaming this podcast Sophie has Lost the Plot. Hello and welcome back to the What is K-Pop podcast, made by me, Sophie. And I normally try and talk about K-pop, then I end up talking about myself because I am apparently the most interesting topic of my entire life. And I just get progressively more and more unhinged as I carry on recording. And I am a little bit annoyed. You know why I'm a little bit annoyed? It's because of the fact that recently, I'd say in the last year, maybe, I have taken on most of the cooking in the house. And I'm thinking of renaming this podcast. I'm thinking can't speak today. I'm thinking of renaming it Sophie has Lost the Plot. So you know how NMIX's Lily live streams are a little bit chaotic, and they're called Lily has Lost the Plot. And I don't know, I think that might have been from the fact that a lot of fans said like Lily has clearly lost the plot in this live, and then she just adopted that name. But if not, then that's hilarious that she just knew she didn't have a plot, and so she's just lost it, perpetually just lost the plot. And I feel like I'm losing my mind. And this has come about very recently, and I say very recently, I mean literally at the start of this year, 2025. You think to yourself, new year, new me, I'm gonna be amazing, right? I feel like I'm actually losing here. And the problem is that at the moment is that one of the things is I'm doing a lot of the cooking, which is like fair enough. I'm 21. I should have technically moved out into university 3 years ago. I should realistically be having a job and like doing the lifing things and not still living with my parents. But the thing is that I say the thing is a lot. I say it all the time. It's just a thing I say. We're four adults living in this house, and I feel like I shouldn't be the one who is constantly cooking. I feel like I shouldn't have to have the responsibility of making sure that we don't starve or that we don't eat constantly at like 7 in the evening, right? And I try as I might. I always try to make sure that like I'm not doing it constantly, but with obviously the fact that my dad can't cook for shit, my sister can't cook for shit, and my mum is either working or she's too tired, I'm the one who's like cooking a lot. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy cooking, but yesterday I was making tuna pasta bake, and I had gotten to the point, literally yesterday, I was just gone. I was gone to the wind halfway through, like ripped apart by a fucking tornado. Like I was just not having fun. And it was all those little things that like kind of, by the way, this episode has no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just moaning. And I'm going to talk about K-pop in a few minutes, don't worry. But I was trying to motivate myself to cook, and even to just like heat up soup yesterday. I was like, I'm so fucking tired of standing in front of this goddamn cooker to even care to even make my own lunch. And that is a good old sign of depression, which I'm like, great, love that for me, about the fact that you don't enjoy things that you've enjoyed before. But it seems mainly about cooking, but like about other things in my life too. And like doing this podcast is the only thing that seems like vaguely interesting to me at the moment. So I'm like, it can just be depression-like symptoms when you're just completely done with doing everything in your life. And the problem that I'm kind of facing right now is the fact that like I've made dinner consecutively for a good couple of days. I think I can't remember off the top of my head. It is that bad at this point. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I think I have. And so my mum was going to make cottage pie tonight, which is like the beef version of shepherd's pie. It is beef and potatoes and carrots and onion and shit like that. I don't know. I can't remember. And my mum is still asleep from her night shift that she's been on, which is fair enough. The woman is 55. She can sleep all she wants. But it's like, there's the problem that I'm having at the moment is that there is no fail safe, to a plan. And my parents often live by the rules of it's okay we'll be okay, we'll figure it out. And I'm like, that is not flying with me at the moment. You know, my nerves are on tenterhooks. I'm not okay, and I need to know if there's like a plan B for this. If all hell breaks loose, what are we gonna do? And you know, it's not, I don't think it's like too much to ask that, like, you know, if I'm still, like, if my mum went to me, if I'm still asleep, Sophie, by like 5, either wake me up or ask your dad to do, like, because he's now doing spaghetti bolognese. Like, I'm totally fine with that as long as I actually know that, like, that's a failsafe that could happen, you know? And like, right now, I'm like, I don't want him to make spaghetti bolognese because, first of all, I hate his spaghetti bolognese. Second of all, he clumps the meat all together, and third of all, he just clumps all the spaghetti together. And it's a lot, especially when you've had the guarantee that it's like cottage pie. And I'm like, I just want things to go exactly as planned and exactly how my brain is telling me to do it. And it's like it's because of the fact that, like, I'm doing too much and my brain feels so tight with shit. And like, I know that the remedy of that is to calm the fuck down and just chill, but it's like, it's almost been like happening for like a good month now, where in which I can't stand the idea of not knowing what's going to happen. Not like constantly, but in just certain secular moments of my life, I'm like, I hate this. I hate that this is happening right now. And I don't know whether or not, like, there is anything that I can do about that, or whether or not that's just a thing that I'm going to have to try and cope with, but it's starting to annoy me. So I'm like, there is so many little things that could happen in the world at any one time that I can't control. And I'm like, I'm just making myself go insane, you know? Trying to get a grip on life. And I'm just gonna have to try and let it go. But if there's anything to know about me, it's that I will never let things go. I play the long game, and I am a petty bitch, you know. If anything, I'm a petty Sophie. So that is where I'm currently at, like, right now, as we speak, on the 8th. I might actually upload this as like a bonus episode, but like, I really just needed to get those feelings, like, out and just like speak out my thoughts, because they are just so consuming a lot of the time, and like, it almost feels like I can't talk to anyone about it, because then it's like, just stop, Sophie, just like calm down. But I can't, you know. It's not even like I'm anxious when it happens. Like, I don't feel anxiety, I just feel annoyance, and like, I feel like I'm gonna snap at some point and just be like, why can't we just do this thing at this time instead of messing about and stuff? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like speaking nonsense out into the universe, but I'd love to know if anyone else feels like that. Also, I'd love to get comments. I've been doing this for nearly a year and I've got one comment, and I feel like I'm begging. I feel like I'm just being ridiculous, and it's like, Sophie, just calm down. It's fine. It's whatever. But, you know, we all know how I feel about calming down. But yeah, in fun K-pop stuff, I'm just going to talk briefly about the things I have been enjoying within K-pop. And that was my phone. I have subscribed to the Bubble service for Stray Kids, and they haven't messaged in the day and a half-ish that I've had it for. I have Chan and Felix's, and it's probably just that they're very busy preparing to go back on tour. But I'm like, I just want them to message. I don't know, it's just all culminating into one, you know. You just got the toxicity going around in your brain, haven't you? So right now, in my playlist, I have 8 songs on here right now. I updated it on Monday, so it's quite recent, my choices in music. I have Chan's solo from the Stray Kids hip hop mixtape that they did, Railway. I have Back to You, the English version by Wavy's Kunenschaushen, Different by Woods, Our Dawn is Hotter Than Day by 17, Anti-Romantic by Tomorrow by by Tomorrow, Omnipresent by One We, With You by CIX, and Walking in Time by The Boys. And let me tell you, when I'm just like cuddled up in bed, just on my phone, like scrolling through life, these songs are just like so good. I'm just gonna pour out my love to these songs. So like Back to You is like one of those songs that I'll never really get bored of, I think, because it reminds me so much of like long lost lovers who, you know, it's like a wrong place, wrong time, like wrong person, wrong time, that like they are so toxic for each other almost, but not like badly toxic, but it's just like the other person's personality fits in so many ways but is also really bad in other ways, and it's like it's trying to like fit in each other, and I'm like, I love it. I might have completely shot out the dark on this one, but I love it. And like the English version, I feel like even though it's the one I listen to the most, it doesn't hit as hard. For some reason, when I listen to the Chinese version, because of the emotions they have in their voices, it's almost too difficult for me to listen to and like really like feel okay listening to it, because the Chinese one just makes me really sad. But like obviously the English one is like so good. Also, please give more love to the music videos. They're really sweet and I really like them. And it's like it's obviously like Xiaoshen and Kun like are the love interests for each other, but like you can really just apply it to everything. And moving on to Different by Woods. Why is my phone like no, yeah, sorry. I've forgotten my point. Yeah, Woods is Different. I first heard that actually on what was it? It was on a YouTube video, obviously, and it was about songs that I think it was about songs that if it was released by a more famous person, it would have blown up. And I believe that. Ooh, just had a voice crack. I believe that 100%. It is so like depresso, like you're drinking a depresso whilst you're listening to it, that I'm like, I can't sometimes with that song. Do you want to come in, Johnny? Is that what you want, sweetheart? I'll just leave that open for you. It's like it's almost too sad to bear. It's like it's like the love interest. Sorry, Petal. Both of them are in here now. It different is like it is different. It's the type of song that you would write literally like right after a breakup, or like maybe like a few days after, and it's like it's obviously all the things that are like different about each other, and it's saying like how different you are from your love, and like how like sometimes those differences are actually too bad. You know, you can't get away from the differences between you two. I'm also trying to track a parcel. Just thought I'd quickly track this parcel that I'm trying to get, but it's ooh fun. It's coming tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's the two lovers are so different from each other that they can't be together. Also, I've done something to my back and it just really hurts on one side. So I'm like, ow. This is just the unhinged episode of the podcast. This is the podcast episode that like you don't listen to if you're just getting into the What is K-pop podcast. Like if there's one episode never to recommend, it would be this one. But you know what? We like unhinged in this house. So Railway. I've skipped over Railway for some reason. I loved Railway the first time I listened to it, and then like I think it must have been like over a week after it was released, the music video released, and I actually began to not like the song after the music video dropped. And it's not to say that the music video is bad, but it just doesn't fit the song. Like, it really does not fit the song at all. But I mean, to each their own, you know, you can do whatever you want to do with your music videos. But I didn't think it matched the song. And it took me a good few listens to realise that it was fully in English. But I think that happens a lot with K-pop songs, and I want to do an episode actually about English K-pop songs, because we have Railway, Igloo, Toxic, Good enough that are all like in English, but you wouldn't think it was. Or Strategy actually by Twice. You wouldn't think those songs are in English unless you're like actively listening to it, which I don't. Which I don't do often. Sometimes I'm just like listening to it ambivalently whilst I'm doing something, and if I don't hate it, like if I can't hear it that well, it means I don't hate it, so I just put it onto my playlist and I'm like, yeah, I listen to it again at some point. But like there have been so many times when I've been like, I know the lyrics to this song. Why do I know the lyrics to this song? And then I look at the lyrics and I'm like, oh, it's because it's in English, that's why. Next song we have is Our Dawn is Hotter Than Day. And let me tell you, I love this song so much. If there is one song in this world that I could see live, it would be Our Dawn is Hotter Than Day. I can't explain why. I can't even pick out an exact moment that I like. I can't even tell you a criticism against this song. It's got that certain je ne sais quoi to it. 17 typically perform it like during their concerts on like the encore parts of their stages. It's not got too much choreography and it's not been performed much on like music shows. So it's like you don't really get to see like them performing it that much consistently. But like when like the few stages that they have done are just chefs. Sorry, just letting you know. Yeah. You're gonna go sweet. There you go, sweetheart. I think Petal wants to stay in for a little bit longer. Next up we have is Anti-Romantic, and I love the whole of TXT's first album. But Anti-Romantic has always kind of stood out to me as being one of those songs that I can listen to during the morning and the evening, because that's when I mainly listen on like my phone as opposed to just on the TV. Because the TV is going to be different. It's going to be more like vibrant songs. Anti-Romantic is quite calm for like a TXT song, I feel like sometimes. And it definitely stood out to me on my first listen, because I actually listened to it on the way to an open day I had at a college that I was applying to that I didn't end up going to. But like it has that core memory to me that I feel like I will always like the songs on the album, even if I don't listen to them that much. So next up we have is Omnipresent by One We. I first listened to this song again, it was like a core memories, weird memories, but I was in Hunstanton, which is in Norfolk, and I wasn't feeling too well at the time. And so I was just finding a song and Omnipresent like came up. And I didn't actually know what omnipresent meant. And like I showed it to my dad and he was like, it means like, what does it mean again? Omnipresent. Widely or constantly encountered, widespread. So yeah, so God is considered omnipresent. The figure that you don't see but is always kind of there. If you follow religion, you know, you might believe that God is everywhere. Although everywhere, or whatever that blooming film's called. Oh yeah, Petty, my darling. Just harassing the cat a minute. So obviously Omnipresent is a part of the XOXO EP. And so it's like only got two songs. Salty Boy, Omnipresent, and then instrumentals of the two songs. And I understand that obviously like Salty Boy was meant to be like the title track, but like Omnipresent has got my heart. It like caught me in a web of just like I can't even describe it. I just have no words. When I do that, I have no words. And so it's definitely, I think it's even on like my, how far is it? On my, it's at number 17 on Replay 2024. What about Replay 2023? So I know I listened to it more last year, the year before. Oh wait, 26th, which is fair enough considering it came out end of August. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I listened to a lot of songs before then, so yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, it was definitely one of those songs that like I overplayed it, so I couldn't play it for a few weeks, but then I was like, you come back to me Omnipresent, thank you. You have done your duty of not being in my peripheral for a while, so you can come back. Next up we have is With You by CIX. With You by CIX. I believe it's in Japanese, isn't it? I don't want it to play, but I'm gonna have to click on it. Check the lyrics. Yeah, it's in Japanese, and it's one of the first songs that I listened to from them. That was like me actively trying to listen to CIX, like since their whole discography, because I wanted to see about finding new K-pop songs, and With You definitely stood out as one of those ones that I could pop on when I'm wanting something in the background, but I don't necessarily want to be in the forefront of my mind. Um, yeah, I really did like it. And I also like a couple of different songs from them. Like 458, I believe it's called, is good song. I did actually think that they were going to disband after Jin Young left from the group in the company, but they are making a comeback, which I will talk about at the end of the month, because we are having a fun old... Oh, it's the Friday episode. That's fun. So I'm going to record that actually on the day. So that will come out like probably about 7 p.m. on the 31st. Just so that like I can give myself enough time to really figure out like what has happened during the month. But so far, we have a lot of points. We have a lot of things to discuss. I'm also going through a whole history of NCT, and all of its members and all of its dramas and stuff. So if you'd like to hear about that, that will be coming soon. Lastly, from the 8 songs I have on my playlist currently is Walking in Time by The Boys. Walking in Time is from their first ever release, and again I was doing that same thing of like going through and listening to a lot of the older stuff from groups I like, and Walking in Time definitely stood out to me as one of those songs that doesn't feel like it ages, which is fitting considering it's called Walking in Time. I think out of all of the Boys' songs that I listen to, I think that might actually be towards the top. My favourite I think is Maverick, which might surprise a lot of people because that song wasn't actually that well liked when it came out. And then Nectar, which came out nearly a year ago now, which is based on like the music video at least is based on school leavers, which I thought was very... It did make a draft go across my eyes, and I'm not known for crying, so it definitely made me a little bit emotional because I never really got leavers, unfortunately, because when I was in year 11, I've talked about it loads, but I was quite anxious. I was dealing with a lot of things, and so I didn't go to my prom, and I didn't go to lessons a lot, so I never really got to experience like leavers lessons much. And so when I did leave, I only obviously had like the leavers assembly that we did where we saw like our year 7 pictures and our year 11 pictures. So getting to see like a fun leavers thing like that was really, really nice. Like I probably only had like 50% of everything that the other kids got to experience when they left. But I don't regret it now. Like it's been like 5.5 years now, and I don't regret not going to that because I wasn't in the headspace to be able to cope with that sort of stuff. Like seeing the music video was really, really nice, and watching the performances of it was really good, and I did enjoy it. And I'd love to see if I'm actually gonna research in a minute because I am just in my lounge if there have been any live performances of Walking in Time, and I'm gonna have a little goosey gander at that. Goosey gander actually means to have a walkabout, which I'm not doing. I don't like going outside. It's cold right now. It's 0 degrees. It's nothing. So I don't recommend going outside right now. But I'll have a little goosey gander. We're just gonna say goosey gander. But yeah, thank you for listening to this weird little rant about where I am mentally. I believe Kickflip's episode is going up on Friday. So this is like a midweek surprise. My episode was meant to release yesterday on Winner's Minnow. And like the group in general, actually. It's not just about Minnow, but the group in general. But it came out on Monday. So I do apologise for that. And then Kickflip's episode will go out on Friday. and then again back to normal scheduling on Tuesday. And I think maybe I'll have done 80s' first EP review. But if not, then it's gonna be probably another group. I don't know. I just kind of decide what I'm gonna do pretty much as soon as like I decide to do a podcast. It could be about Vitra actually, if I haven't done an episode on them yet. But I won't be talking about the scandal mainly because of the fact that, well, I don't want to talk about it. We talk about nice things on the What Is K-pop podcast for the most part, unless I have like active things to say about a situation, and I don't have anything to say about KG and all of that stuff that kind of went down that I haven't already mentioned. I think in video, I think I have talked about them. I don't know. I can't remember at this point. I've done so much. I've nearly done this for a year, so you'll have to excuse my stupidity. But yeah, thank you for listening to my fun little conversations. And if you enjoy the podcast, like or comment or 5-star, I don't know. Whatever it is that you can do it if you want to. But if not, then it's all cool. It's all good. Hope I see you again. If not, then it's fine. Don't really care. I just do this for fun. Yeah, thank you as always for listening, and bye.